There should be a word for that. That kind of special anxiety when you have to look across all of your devices. Okay, are they all recording? Is that on? Is that in focus?
Is everything doing what it's supposed to be doing?
Yeah. Greetings. I am Kyle Sullivan, supposed director of Garden of the Gods, although I'm pretty sure that's a clerical error. I'm here with Brooke Mitchell, musician extraordinaire. Brooke will be scoring our film Garden of the Gods. So let me start off by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do, and how did you come to do it?
I write music for production music libraries for TV shows and trailers. I've just always loved music since I was probably before middle school, but, I really got into music in middle school and just knew that that's what I wanted to do. So started writing music, and now I write for production music libraries.
And you're based out of Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, good old Beham.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what shocked me the most is that, and I've listened to some of your stuff. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
That someone of your caliber and talent is sitting right here in the state of Alabama, and I don't know. Lee Shook turned me on to you, so
yeah, Lee's an awesome
count me
guy.
as a fan.
Thank you.
So you knew since middle school. What were you listening to in middle school that changed you into a musician?
I think Nine Inch Nails is really what did it for me. Like, I would listen to that and think, how did they make that sound? How did he do that? Texture. And I just really started listening to like what all went into a track to make it what it was. And I loved it. And I thought, well, I need to learn how to do that. Like, I want to learn how to produce stuff and make it fun, and interesting to listen to. And so I would say, yeah, probably Nine Inch Nails was like the number one influence for all of that.
Have you ever been to a Nine Inch Nails performance?
Many of them. I don't even know how many I've been to. A lot.
Okay, all right. So I've got 5 questions for you. Some of them are really hard. Some of them are really easy. Starting off, I'd like to ask you what movie you've technically watched the most in your life. Not your favorite, but like which one do you think you've logged the most hours while watching?
Probably Idiocracy or Old School.
Ooh.
Very sophisticated movies.
Well, in the case of Idiocracy, it seems a bit prophetic.
Unfortunately so. Yeah. I kind of watch it in a new light now. But yeah, it's still great. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Okay. All right. So you're doing a score for a short film. This is something you've touched on before, like your commercial work. You do actual commercials and other stuff of that caliber. And then you have this whole other area of your musical life where you're doing, I don't want to miscategorize it, there's like a techno EDM kind of vibe going on, kind of an ethereal ambient kind of a thing going on. How do you bridge those two gaps? Because if you're not a music person and you're looking at your library, you're like, how did she end up in those two separate categories? They're not separate for you, but how do you bridge that gap for somebody?
I honestly have no idea. I mean, to me, it's not much of a gap because a lot of things share a lot of the same elements you might not think that they have in common. So, I don't know. It just seems like a natural move through the spectrum of music. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem weird. It didn't seem weird to me at all. It's just music. Okay. It's all just music for me. So it's not like...
I bet Mr. Reznor probably feels the same way because Nine Inch Nails is a thing in its own kind of sound and inside of its own genre of music, and they've been doing film scores.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
I really enjoy... I really enjoy the scores that they've done. Like, naturally, I guess, because I like his work anyway. I really like them as scoring composers.
Do you have a favorite Trent score out there?
I don't know. I like what he did with Watchmen and
Ooh.
Gone Girl.
I love Gone Girl's score. Yeah, I love that one.
And those are the two that kind of stand out to me most.
I'm particularly fond of the Social Network score.
I never saw that. I want to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, you might have the time. I'm not sure. I certainly do.
I have the time. Definitely.
No, it's a good movie, actually. You know, you wouldn't think it would be, but it's pretty good. And the scores, I've listened to the score more than I've seen the movie, which is a problem I have.
Well, that's not a problem. I think that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. What is your favorite genre of music?
That's a tough one. I like lots of different genres of music. Obviously, I like kind of like the more industrial techno, hard rock type stuff. I really like dance music too. Like, I love Britney Spears, and that's kind of embarrassing to admit sometimes, but I really like a lot of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm just not really too into country or a lot of rap, but everything else I'll listen to, like jazz, rock, dance, pretty much everything.
Britney Spears has been warming on me. I wouldn't consider myself a country music fan, but I just did a deep dive with Radiolab's Dolly Parton podcast, Dolly's America, and I didn't know I was a Dolly Parton fan, but apparently I am.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome when you find something new that you like that you had no idea that you were gonna even like it.
Yeah, it's the best kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Well, if it's hard to pin down a genre, what are you listening to right now that's stuck in your head, that's an earworm? Any new discoveries?
I've been listening to some Bass Nectar recently.
I know Bass.
I like Bass Nectar, and what else have I been listening to? I listen to music a lot in the car, and I haven't been in the car a lot lately. So I haven't.
Thanks, coronavirus.
I know. So I haven't really listened to a whole lot of stuff. Like other than when I'm working out or something, which is usually Bass Nectar, because it's great to work out to.
You know, Bass Nectar's perfect. They have that raw, like, what do they used to call that, dubstep? Like just this crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll always like that stuff. I mean, I don't care if nobody else in the world likes it.
I like it. Oh. It's a guilty pleasure.
It's good.
When I listen to a lot of music when I'm editing, it's been video game covers for months now, and for some reason that is a nice little rabbit hole for me. Okay, what is your experience with Edgar Allan Poe? Like, is this something they forced you to read in high school? Mm-hmm. Is this something you've read on your own, or? Well,
we first had to read it in high school, and I liked it. It was like one of the few things that I really was genuinely interested in those classes. And I think we read The Raven and Telltale Heart. And I remember thinking, you know, this stuff is really good. But beyond that, I haven't really dove into any of his other work too much. But I should, because I liked it a lot, so.
The Cask of Amontillado is the base for Garden of the Gods, and it's a particularly nice little story. But one that might be relevant now is The Mask of the Red Death, which is about the plague.
Oh, yeah.
And about a bunch of rich people trying to hide from the plague.
I am guessing it didn't work out too well?
No happy endings in Poe land.
Yeah.
What you said you mentioned previously that you might have already had some thoughts about what kind of stuff and sounds and ideas you wanted to do for Garden of the Gods, and maybe you could describe a little bit what you're thinking there. Just as a kind of teaser for the audience here.
Well, it's a really dark story, so obviously I was thinking something dark for the score. Maybe like dark pulses, something that's very tense. There's a lot of tension that happens throughout a lot of it, so just something that created a lot of tension and feelings of darkness. And that was pretty much it. And it's just all in that same vein of dark tension. So as long as I stick there, it would work out pretty well.
So when you're coming up with a piece of music, you are it's not fly by the seat of your pants, but it's like you're paying attention to whatever you want to feel at the moment and just adding stuff, and if it sticks, it sticks. Or do you sometimes maybe have a particular melody that you want to expand out? Like, are you in the shower and a melody hits you, like, I gotta put that down somewhere?
Sometimes it's like that, but usually it's the melody is something that'll come last. But it's more just like a feeling, or if I hear a sound or create a sound that has a lot of meaning or emotion to me, I'll just kind of explore that. And mostly it's just trying to get feelings or express a feeling. And like things like melody, or if there's going to be lyrics, will come much later. But like for scoring to a picture, I mean, of course it would just be like what emotion is happening in that scene, or what are the characters feeling, and then kind of just try to like expand on that, with the music and with the sounds. So it's just a lot of emotion, basically.
Yeah. In film's the same way. Like, it's just an emotional delivery system. And I think a good film steals a lot from music, and like stealing kind of the thunder and repurposing it. But, music is its own emotional universe. Mm-hmm. Is there... I mean, I know you do commercial work. Is there like a space or a genre or a part of the musical spectrum that you are the least comfortable working in?
I would say certain rock genres where there's like a lot of like live guitar and like country. I know I couldn't do country because I don't listen to it very much. So if somebody said, "Hey, I want you to come up with this country track," I would be like, "Well, I'd probably just say I don't think I can do that." Yeah. I'm not your gal.
Okay.
So yeah, like country or I've actually written some hip hop stuff, which is, I wouldn't say it was
really
good, but it's there. So hip hop is not out of the question, but like country or stuff like that would be.
Hip hop and like EDM and dubstep, like there's a little bit of commonality in the language, like the the beats and stuff like that. Cool. Well, let me give you one last question, and I'm sorry if this is hard. What is the capital of Scotland?
I knew it was going to be a capital question. Okay.
It's a theme.
The capital of Scotland. I don't know that one. The two things that came to mind are places that are not in Scotland. So I'm like, no, like Dublin is in Ireland. Wales is in England, right?
I think Wales is its own place.
Thing.
The capital of Scotland is Edinburgh.
Okay, I never would have got that in a million years.
Yeah.
I can tell you the capital of a lot of other places.
Well, tell you what, you stump me on the capital,
okay.
And we'll call it even.
What is the capital of Lebanon?
You did stump me, damn. Is it Damascus? No, Damascus is Syria. No.
Beirut?
I don't know. Beirut. Ah! I knew that. All right. Well, we're even. Cool. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with me for a few minutes.
You're
I'm sure
very
people would
welcome.
love to get a sense of where the music's coming from. If we wanted to point people to a space where they can listen to what you do and hear some samples of what you do, where can they go?
They can go to www.brookemitchellmusic.com. And that is a website that has like some of my music on there and some information. And that's it.
All right.
It's there.
Well, cool. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I don't know, please be safe out there.
All right,
Please be safe inside.
I will. I'll be safe inside. Thank you for having me.